Hi, I'm Mel White and Client Exec for Dassault Systems, looking after construction cities and territories in ANZ. Dassault Systems has partnered with the largest construction companies around the world who are looking to innovate, take out cost, increase production, operational efficiency, and transform with technology. University of Adelaide is going to have a discussion between Professor Pascale Quester, who's a Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President of Academics, along with Professor Scott Smith, who's a Deputy Dean of International Faculty of Engineering, Computer and Mathematical Sciences. Today they're going to discuss how the university is working with industry partners to create major opportunities for curriculum that will assist Australia's graduates with the future of construction work. So let's hear more from them.
Well, Scott, as you know, the University of Adelaide has been really investigating what a university needed to do in the future, and the strategic plan was very much about that. And one of the areas that we've been wanting to really prosecute is what does the world of work look like? And we've come to the conclusion that actually it's going to look very different in the future than it is in the past. And one of the arguments, of course, has been the degree to which a digital future is actually something that we need to embrace. So as you know, the university has been really engaged in the kind of technology development part, the research element of things. And we've actually observed that this impact of the digital future is very transversal. It's all the industries, it's pretty much in every field. But it seems to me that there's possibly a particular area in the construction environment, in your area, where the digital impact is yet to be defined and explored. Can you tell me more about what you think is going to be the impact of the digital future on the construction industry?
Well, certainly digitisation in construction has been a slow mover, but the time is really right for a disruption. We can see digitisation finding its way into design, into construction, into operation, and also into decommissioning of structures. And this adds immense efficiency into the system, immense efficiencies into the design, into the construction, into the operation, and also to finally the decommission. So delving in that into a little bit more detail, building information modelling is a really important and powerful mechanism of integrating that digitisation into construction. The building information modelling, the BIM, that can help us in the design stage, in the visualisation stage, in the optimisation stage, in the costing of the project, in the construction of the project, and then in the actual construction of it. The BIM, the building information modelling, can help integrate all of the various professions to optimise the delivery and the construction of that project.
So that's really interesting because, of course, from a university point of view, we're used to actually preparing graduates, and then we put graduates in the hands of the industry, of the employers, and then they get to kind of develop the skills that are necessary to evolve in that environment at that time. It seems to me that you're kind of describing a transformation that probably would be best infused into the education that our students benefit from at the university. And this is not the way that we have usually operated, but it is something that we have explored. In fact, with Dassault, we've actually looked at how we could co-create degrees so that we could get the industry partner and the students to think much earlier on about how the technology delivers some benefits. Is there something like that can actually be integrated? Is there some program that we can devise where we could co-create with industry, the workers of the construction industry of the future?
Well, we actually are developing a program of that very nature. We're calling it Bachelor of Technology in Construction. It's a multidisciplinary collaboration between our schools of civil engineering, environmental and mining, as well as architecture and built environment. But it's also a collaboration with industry.
So does it only talk to those students who are sort of school leavers and just considering a career into the industry, or is it also something that plays into that reskilling and upskilling imperative that universities, I think, increasingly are becoming aware they must be playing an active part in?
Well, definitely we would want a program like this to appeal to a broad spectrum of potential students, from those high school leavers to the mature age students and the career changers. And definitely in these COVID times, where we have a lot of people unfortunately unemployed, and this provides them a way to pivot or to upskill and to bring them into to the construction industry, recognising that construction is going to be a really important part of the recovery post-COVID, with the billions of dollars that are being invested in new construction projects all around the world.
So tell me then, because we do have some traditional programs in our Faculty of Engineering, in what way is it different, and in what way are we constructing the program differently when we want to have industry involved in co-creating the curriculum?
Well, if I can walk you through the curriculum as we're planning, it's a 3-year degree, although we also have a 4th-year option. So this is a curriculum that is based around the digitisation in the construction industry, particularly through the use of building information modelling, BIM. We're really using that as the backbone. So each year there is a major BIM project that we can bring in our multiple schools within the university, as well as also industry, to bring a real authenticity into the type of project that we're creating. Now, we need to teach the skills to the students to use the BIM, the building information modelling, effectively, and that's where we can integrate technology into the curriculum, in addition to the traditional subjects of building materials and construction and project management, for example.
And do you get a sense then of the kind of value that industry places on being able to recruit those kind of graduates? Certainly, the example with Dassault is that we've been working towards the defence industry, which is a really important part of the economy here in South Australia. And there was a real appetite from corporate partners to know that the students would already have that capacity from day one. Is it something similar in the construction environment?
Well, definitely. We want to produce graduates who are work ready, but who also have a very strong foundation of knowledge. And given that technology changes, we want to be teaching our students how to re-educate themselves in light of that changing technology. In terms of the relevance to industry, the communication of industry at the program formulation stage, as well as during the actual implementation of the program, is immensely important, because it's only that collaboration with the university and the industry which is going to make this a really effective program.
So I think that where we go to really is the value that we have in working together with industry to actually educate a much broader range of learners than we have been traditionally used to. I mean, the University of Adelaide has in the past served the needs very well, I think, of school leavers, but without really due consideration for the industry and the future that awaits them. I think becoming aware of the impact of the digital future has motivated us to really try and innovate in the co-creation of our program. And the program that you just described seems to be just one more that we will be able to proudly say we have co-created with industry partner for the betterment of our graduates, and hopefully for also enhanced career outcomes for them as well.
Yes, and I think this is a very important model that a lot of universities around the world can be continuing to develop. That co-creation, the industry relevance, the impact of our programs, and the types of graduates that we are educating and producing that can move into the workforce, that can show real impact to the world.
So Scott, this digital future is a very broad term. In what specific way that this digital future impact on the construction industry? What are going to be the technology that defines its success in the future?
Well, technology has been developed over the years, but it's only now with the rolling out of the 5G network, Industry 4.0, the Internet of Things, that we can find all of these technologies starting to fit together and to work together. For example, the power of visualization that we get through 3D models and walkthroughs. I also bring in other technologies around 3D printing and additive manufacturing. So 3D printing is a very interesting perspective for construction, in that it lends itself beautifully to modularization and prefabrication. And that practice in itself is going to reduce the carbon footprint substantially that you would see on a construction site.
So is the future really going to be about building houses with a massive big 3D printer that will be taken on site?
We're already doing that. through large-scale 3D concrete printers, but a future may lend itself to prefabrication and roboticised and automated construction processes.
Is there going to be a sustainability advantage in doing that? In other words, in minimising the waste? The industry is well known for being not particularly environmentally efficient at the construction stage. Is there something there that can be actually overlaid?
Well, definitely. One of the premises of prefabrication is around reducing that carbon footprint to make the constructions more sustainable. So when we bring in automation then we're bringing in a safety factor as well.
So is it the same when we talk about machine learning and we talk about artificial intelligence? Is it also saying that our graduates will actually be working alongside the machines as opposed to instead of the machines? What's the balance?
Yes, I would say that the nature of the work may well change, especially as we become more automated. But we definitely do need people still involved with the projects. The people bring sanity to what the automation process is producing.
And I suppose there's also the creative element, which architects would perhaps define as being essentially a humanistic kind of perspective on the construction industry as well.
Yes, and I believe there's only so far that we can get with automation. We still need that human element, that level of creativity, that realism that we can bring to the project.
Well, that's excellent news, because that's what universities are all about, the development of the human capital alongside the technology to create a better future.
Certainly.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you very much too.